UFC Fight Night. David Onama taking on Steve Garcia. Yeah, I'm not too sure why you clicked on this video. If you did, that means you're as much of a loser as I am, and we're gonna be watching a bunch of dog shit fights all Saturday. Yeah, the card fucking blows. I'm not shy of admitting that because the card does. It fucking blows. But we're doing a full card breakdown and predictions. We got to keep it going. So let's get it going right now. Talita Alencar versus Ariane Carnelossi. Ariane Carnelossi looks like, I mean, come on, you know? Do I have to say it? I mean, I don't want to. I'm going to. She looks like a man, which is weird though because she sucks. She's beaten no one that's really that good. I mean, her best win you could probably say is like a Stella Nunez, who isn't good herself. From what I've seen, she can get kind of overwhelmed, and if adversity does hit her in the face, or him, I guess you could say, whatever, you know. If adversity does hit, she's tough, but it really starts to snowball downhill. Talita Alencar, she's actually a pretty decent grappler. Her stand-up game worries me. That's the one worry I have. I think she could get stopped, but her grappling is probably on the very strong side in terms of the people outside of the rankings at strawweight. I think I'm going to take Talita Alencar just because I think she probably wins a decision here off of scrambling better. Her groundwork, a lot of times it doesn't lead to her getting into any advantageous positions where she's threatening a choke or she's threatening ground and pound. It's more so just position-based grappling, and I think that can win her this fight because Carnelossi's shown me that if she does get held down at any point, I think it's going to snowball into her just kind of getting laid on. So I'll take Talita Alencar. I'm not too confident about it. I'm gonna trust the grappling here. Carnelossi's just hit or miss in the UFC. There's a chance she gets a KO or a TKO early because, I mean, look at her shoulders. She doesn't have too many wins on her resume by submission or decision. Most of them come by KO. So if she does win, probably gonna be by KO, but I just don't see that happening. I think Talita Alencar is just gonna go very grapple heavy, hold dominant position, and win that way. Moving on from that, Philip Rowe versus Seok-Hyun Ko. I'm taking Seok-Hyun Ko here. Philip Rowe, he won his last fight against Angelusa, and I took Angelusa to win that fight by KO early, and it was heading that way. It was looking like Philip Rowe was going to get put away. It wasn't going very good. Angelusa apparently doesn't know how to finish a fight, which was actually one of my worries going into that fight, that he does fumble a lot of his finishes. And eventually, the way that Philip Rowe won that fight, and eventually got, I think it was a late TKO, if I remember correctly. It was. Angelusa literally just got fucking tired, and it wasn't even like, oh, it was a crazy pace, and, you know, Philip Rowe, he's just able to ping a jab and wear him out that way. No, it was literally just Angelusa can't take care of himself enough to go 15 minutes. It was just kind of embarrassing. Like, if it happened in the second round, then it would be one thing, because then it would be like, oh, he adrenaline dumped himself and then immediately got finished right after he couldn't get a finish. That makes sense. But it went to the third, and Angelusa was looking okay in the second, but then the third round, it was just like, dude, what happened to you, man? And that doesn't prove anything to me, I don't think. You're losing these fights to Jake Matthews, to Neil Magny. Sure, not the worst competition in the world, but the guys you're beating, it's Angelusa, it's Nico Price. It's guys that you should be able to beat because of your length and because of his fight style. It's not the most overwhelming. He has that sniper style where he's going to use his length, but Seok-Hyun Ko has shown me nothing other than the fact that he's going to be able to dominate the person that he's across from, and it's the guys who I think are very, very good. Look at his last fight against Oban Elliott. Oban Elliott did not have an answer for anything that Seok-Hyun Ko had for him. He took him down and literally did whatever he wanted for 15 straight minutes. And I'm not exaggerating that. It was literally 15 straight minutes of just pure dominance. And I've said this in the past, I think that Oban Elliott is borderline a top 15 guy if he can put the pieces together, but it seems he can't. I think Oban Elliott's actually very, very good. And Seok-Hyun Ko did whatever the he wanted. I think he's going to be able to catch a kick here, get a takedown, and I think he's going to be able to pretty much do the same thing that he he did to Oban Elliott and just maul him from top position. I have Xiaokyang Ko by TKO. I think he gets a ground and pound finish here. Moving on from that, Montserrat Conejo Ruiz versus Elise Ardelian. I flip-flopped on this one a little bit, but neither of these chicks are good. I'm taking Ardelian, though. Not stoked on it. Not stoked. She's not very good. She is decently durable, though, which says something. And she's fought girls like Melissa Martinez, like Shauna Banan, who aren't necessarily, like, they're not retarded. I mean, they kind of are, but, like, they're not bottom of the barrel, like, complete shitters. Granted, she did lose to both of those girls. Her striking's not terrible. Her grappling's not terrible, but it's not good either on either end. Whereas on the other side, I think that Montserrat Ruiz is just atrocious at fighting, to be completely honest with you. She is literally known, in terms of like actually just like in the UFC, she's literally known just to get finished. And in women's MMA, if you're known to be getting finished, what are we doing? Pick a new job. If you're known to get finished in women's MMA, wrap it up, dude. I think Elise Ardelian probably, I'm going to take her by sub. Not the most crazy confident because I don't think she's very good, but she literally just gets finished. What am I supposed to do? Has she won in the UFC? I literally don't remember if she's won in the UFC. I'm going to look. She won her first fight in the UFC and then has gotten finished every time since. And she hasn't been in the octagon for 2 years. Yeah, no. Ketlin Vieira versus Norma Dumont. This is actually a pretty high-level fight. I'm not sure why it's this low on the card. I'm taking Norma Dumont. Norma Dumont's really fucking good. She's kind of a decision machine, which, you know, who cares? It just means we get to see more of her, if you know what I mean. She's really good, dude. I think that she's on the upside of her career, whereas Ketlin Vieira's very much on the downside. Not to say that Ketlin Vieira is like washed or anything, because I mean, she beat Macy Chasson pretty handedly in her last fight. But Norma Dumont's grappling and defensive grappling is way better than Ketlin Vieira's. And her striking, I think, is a lot sharper and she's a lot quicker on the feet. Her footwork, she's not falling over herself as much as Ketlin Vieira does. So I think she gets this done. She beat Jermaine Durandamy, which I think says something. I mean, Jermaine Durandamy was at the top of the sport at once upon a time, and she handedly beat her. If you're doing MMA math, you can look back and say, well, Norma Dumont lost to Macy Chasson. That was literally, that's upwards of now 4 years ago almost. I don't see much value to that anymore. I think that Norma Dumont has grown a lot, and I think she's really, really well-rounded, and her defensive grappling's very good. She seems to actually know how to put a combination together, which I've said in the past, that's huge for women's MMA. So I'm taking Norma Dumont. I think she wins a clear-cut decision. After that, we have Dante Johnson versus Cedric Dumas. I mean, come on, guys. Like, what are we doing here? Taking Dante Johnson. Cedric Dumas, if you're rooting for this guy to win, I don't even know what to tell you. You are fucked up in the head if you want this guy to win. He's literally like a fucking felon. He's not a good dude. In and out of jail all the time. This guy can't put his life together. He literally just gets fucked up like every single year. Like once or twice a year, guy shows up and gets up. And the people that he beats, they all suck. He can't beat someone who actually has some skills and some sort of base to MMA. They don't even have to be well-rounded. If they have something to their name, whether it be kickboxing, boxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, something, if they're really good at one of the martial arts, he can't beat them. And Dante Johnson, I actually think is pretty well-rounded, and he's incredibly fucking powerful. He's knocked out how many people? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's knocked out 6 people in a row in the first round. And Cedric Dumas, he got finished bad by Mikhail Oleksiejczuk. And then the Zachary Reese fight obviously gets stopped early for no contest. But he's chinny, and he gets wobbled actually pretty easily throughout his career. Dante Johnson's known to just put people out. So I'm taking Dante Johnson. He's, I think he's actually a pretty touted prospect. Yeah. He's a big dude, too. He's going to have a power advantage. I think he's honestly probably just as fast as Dumas is. A little bit undersized, but I'm not worried about that. I don't think that Dumas has any sense of how to get range at all. I have Dante Johnson winning a first round TKO. After that, we have Timmy Kwamba versus Chung Ho Lee. This one's tough, dude. And I see everyone just going all in on Chung Ho Lee, which I'm going to take Chung Ho Lee. But Timmy Kwamba looked so good in his last fight. And if any hardcores remember that one, it was against Roberto Romero, who I took to win. I thought Roberto Romero was going to finish Timmy Kwamba early. Because you look at Timmy Kwamba's last fight before that, and it's against Lucas Almeida, who we've seen is not good. He needs to pick a new job too. He should not be anywhere near a mixed martial arts gym, let alone a fucking octagon. You see that and you go, oh dude, this guy, you lost to Lucas Almeida, you suck. But then he fights Roberto Romero and he is a fucking monster. Like, he looked untouchable the whole fight, all the way up until the point that he got the finish. So the fact that he has that momentum of literally just beating the out of somebody for 8 straight minutes and then putting them away, that's a big confidence boost after you lose 2 fights. You're showing yourself that you can step back in there and beat a decently high level guy. But the matchup doesn't favor him, I don't think, with Chung Ho Lee, he's a finisher, dude. And Roberto Romero, he kind of tries, he looks for finishes, but he doesn't, for one, not like Chung Ho Lee does. And for 2, I don't know if he's as well-rounded as Chung Ho Lee is. Chung Ho Lee beat this shit out of Cortavius Romeus in his last fight, and it was really hard to watch. He beat the shit out of him, dude. And then before that, he goes to a split decision with Long Zhao, and you're like, at the time, it was like, split decision with Long Zhao. What's going on? I think Long Zhao is really good. I'm taking Chung Ho Lee. I think when it does go to the ground, he looks to finish. He looks to advance position. He looks to land heavy shots. And on the feet, he's so powerful. He's known to just get down to the ground and pound you, and I think that's what he does here. His grappling entries are very, very sharp. I think Timmy Kwamba, he's kind of like this lanky dude, but he's not that tall. How tall? What's the size difference here? He's only an inch taller. And his fight style is very predicated upon these low kicks, and he's going to find these snappy pull counters. I don't like that. I don't like the whole, I'm going to play the head movement game and make you miss and try and find a step off 2 or something like that. I just don't like that against Chung Ho Lee when he's going to just try. If you try and throw that sniper, that pull counter, that 1-1-2, he's just going to step off and fire a double leg. And then once you get down to the ground, no one has shown that they can get up from it. So I think he gets a ground and pound finish. I think it happens in the 1st or 2nd round here. After that, Kevin Christian versus Billy Elikana. Neither of these guys are very good. When Billy Elikana came to the UFC, he fought Bogdan Guskov on like less than a week's notice. And when the fight started, literally a minute in, he has Bogdan Guskov's back and he's like about to choke him out. Obviously he gassed out and then he gets up. Guskov put him down, and then I think it was like a mounted guillotine or something. But yeah, so that happened, and you're like, dude, Elikana looked good, man. Like, what the hell? That's Bogdan Guskov. That's no joke. And then he fights Ibo Aslan, who's terrible. Ibo Aslan seems to he's one of like the pitter-patter guys who's just gonna like sit at range, throw one significant strike every 2 minutes, and pray they get a decision. And Billy Elikana, he won, but like the guy's not moving. Like, he's not throwing anything. Like, open up a little bit, dude. Like, there's not much to be afraid of type of thing. Which, I hate that. Like, where's the killer mindset? And there's literally just a fucking standing target in front, not moving, and you're not doing anything about it. I just don't like that. And Billy Elikana, he was historically, I think he was a middleweight on the regional scene coming up. And now that he's at 205, these guys are going to have a size advantage over him, which I don't like a lot. I just don't think that Kevin Christian's good at all. He's more so known for his submission game rather than him on the feet, which is kind of weird because you look at him and I'm pretty sure this guy's like 6 foot something. Wow, he's 6'7". Okay. I was really trying to avoid saying that. You'd think that this guy would have nasty hands. He's got nice kicks. No, that is not what this fucking guy is known for. It's his grappling game. It's okay. I mean, I wouldn't say it's incredible. I don't know. He's good off of his back. That's kind of what he's known for, is the old school jiu-jitsu of like, I'm going to pull guard, and if you stay in my guard, like, good luck, I'm going to snatch something. I don't think Billy Elikana is going to fucking do that, dude. I think he's too passive to even, like, put himself in that sort of a situation. And if he does open up quick, like he did against Bogdan Guskov, and we see that Billy Elikana come back, I think that's going to go really bad for Kevin Christian. Elikana's going to get him down, pass guard, and like we saw against Guskov, he's going to hunt to finish early, if that's the version that we get, at least. And if it's not, Elikana's going to stay on the feet. He's just going to shoot his hips back every time that they do get into a grappling entry, and he's going to sprawl, do everything he can just to stay on the feet and do what he did against Ibo Aslan. and that's just land pitter-patter leg kicks and ping a jab. And I think that's how he's going to win this. So I have Billy Elicana winning a decision. After that, we have Cody Durden versus Alan Nascimento. Alan Nascimento was supposed to fight Rafael Estevam, who I believe is undefeated. Is that right? I'm pretty sure Estevam's undefeated. He is, which would have been a really good fight. I was excited to see that because Estevam is... At least in his last fight, he looked very grapple heavy, and Nascimento's grappling game is very, very good too, especially defensively. He has good submissions off of his back. Guard game's nasty. So it was a matchup that I was very intrigued to see the grappling transitions that those guys were going to go through. Fight falls through, and now it's Cody Durden, who is a good grappler, but he just gets fucked up, dude. I mean, over and over, the guy's just getting fucking... Jose Ochoa puts him away bad. He gets up really bad against Joshua Van. It was literally 3 straight rounds. He just looked like a fucking victim. And you beat Matt Schnell. That's your only win in the last fucking 2 years. Is Matt Schnell. My grandma can beat Matt Schnell. You literally flick him upside. You flick Matt Schnell upside the forehead, and he probably goes out cold. Cody Durden's grappling game is good, but he's hit or miss, and Nascimento, when he does get to the ground, he hunts finishes, and he looks to get position, or at least dominant position, firm dominant position, not some weak Brendan Allen pull a submission because he can type of thing. He really tries to hold dominant position, and once he's able to slide in like an arm triangle or something like that, then he'll jump it. He doesn't jump things just to jump things. He's very calculated in his approach to the grappling game. So I do have him by submission. I have him winning a submission in the second round. Yeah. I think this is a mismatch, and Cody Durden coming in on short notice, I really don't like that. This fight literally got rebooked like a week ago, maybe 2 weeks. Nascimento's probably been drilling this grappling for his whole fight camp. I mean, he was supposed to fight Estevam. Cody Durden is not on the level. So I'm taking Nascimento. I think he wins the submission in round 2 here. After that, we have Charles Radke versus Daniel Frunza. I think Charles Radke's pretty good. Not the most fun guy to watch at times. So first of all, Daniel Frunza was pretty hyped up coming into the UFC. Not hyped up, but he had a good win on the Contender Series, and his name started getting some notoriety. And then his debut was against Reese McKee. Reese McKee isn't some walk in the park, but it's Reese McKee, you know? And the fight only lasts a round, and it's by doctor stoppage. His eye was swollen shut with a cut. Dude, he was brutally beaten. And the fight literally couldn't go on. He was so up. And it's Reese McKee, dude. Reese McKee isn't some marauder who's going in there and he's gonna fuck you up from the bell. But that's what happened. Reese McKee doesn't do that to people, and he did it to Daniel Frunza. Charles Radke is very, very durable against these lower competition types of guys, I think. Because you look at the guys that he loses to, and it's Mike Malott, Carlos Prates. But then you put him against like Matthew Semmelsberger, who's actually a pretty competent fighter at 170, and he fucks him up bad. Same thing with Gilbert Urbina. Fucking beat the shit out of that guy. And he's not the worst, like, bottom of the barrel guy, whereas Daniel Frunza beats shitty competition on the Contender Series. Then he fights Reese McKee, who's meh, and gets fucked up. I'm literally going off of just MMA math here. I think Charles Radke's going to get a finish at some point. I think it's going to happen in round 3. Yeah, technically, I don't know how far I can get into that because we haven't seen too much from Daniel Frunza other than the fact that he's a victim. And his stand-up game is just not all that. And that's what he's supposed to be known for, you know, is the power, is the technical striking. And since he's fought UFC level competition, it's not been there. I'll take Charles Radke. I'll take him by late TKO. Next up, Isaac Dulgarian versus Yadier Del Valle. I've watched a lot of film for this specific fight. I'm very interested to see what happens. I really want to take Dulgarian, but I'm not going to. And everyone's taking Dulgarian, I'm pretty sure. Oh, it's like split down the middle. Okay. I think Yadier Del Valle is going to get a first round submission, which is very, very ballsy. I don't know why I'm doing that. So Dulgarian, for people who are new to Isaac Dulgarian, he's fought in the UFC a few times. He's fought Christian Rodriguez. He's fought Francis Marshall, and he's looked good. A Division II national champion wrestler, I believe. I could be wrong on that. I know that he was a collegiate wrestler, and he was a very good one at that, and it has transferred over to the UFC very, very well. He wins most of his fights getting dominant position and ground and pounding guys. That's basically what he's known for, is the ground and pound finishes, the mauling you from top. He did it in his last fight against, I don't even remember what the guy's name was, and then he did it against Francis Marshall. It was the same story. Yadier Del Valle, I was watching some regional scene stuff. He fought Michael Aswell, for one, who I think, as we saw a couple weeks ago, Michael Aswell's a very, very good boxer. He outboxed him. He outgrappled him. He borderline 10-8'd Michael Aswell in the first round. He held his back for probably 4 minutes and 30 seconds out of the first round. His grappling's very, very good, especially early. He comes out very hot. And against Isaac Dulgarian, I think if Dulgarian shoots, I think he's going to get reversed at some point possibly, and he's going to get put into a rough spot because Del Valle comes out when he comes out fresh, he chops a lot of good low kicks, beats your legs up, and then eventually you have to shoot because you try to avoid the stand-up. He throws very good hooks. He switches his stances when he gets inside. His stand-up's pretty good. It's also a little bit sloppy on the defensive side of things, but offensively, it's very, very hard to get away from Yadier Del Valle early. So you're forced to shoot. But in doing that, his grappling game's good. It's sharp. And as the fight goes, not so much. But I think Del Valle gets a sub here. I think he's able to reverse him. I think he gets taken down or he drops his hips to the mat, sprawls. They get into a north-south position. Yadier spins, takes the back, puts in a body triangle, pulls him and rips a rear naked choke. Something like that, where the grappling exchange is initiated by Dulgarian, but Del Valle is just going to be too fresh early and it's not going to go well for Dulgarian. I've got Yadier Del Valle winning a first round submission here. After that, we have Jeremiah Wells versus Themba Gorimbo. Jeremiah Wells, I thought this guy got cut. Yeah, he's not very good. He fought Blood Diamond. I remember that. Did he fight Blood Diamond? He did. Oh my God, Blood Diamond. That's some hardcore knowledge for you, dude. He fought Blood Diamond. Holy shit. Dude, that guy sucked. Yeah, so Jeremiah Wells is old, first of all, and he doesn't really show up very much. It's been almost 2 years. It's been over a year and a half since he was in the octagon last. And the last time it was against Max Griffin, who's also like 58 years old, and he's also slow and not good. Not all slow, but because Jeremiah Wells is athletic and he is explosive. But Themba Gorimbo is sharp, man. And I'm not gonna, he's not sharp. He sucks. But I don't think that this kind of a level, this age of a fighter is gonna be able to do much against Themba Gorimbo, especially when the UFC clearly loves Themba Gorimbo. They want to market this, they want to get this African market to be more saturated, I guess. They want more eyes toward fighters coming from Africa. I mean, he got Dwayne The Rock Johnson bought him a house, you know, like shit like that. Like, he's got a great story, came from nothing. He's a very marketable guy. So why else would they, like, only make sense that they're gonna give him a layup coming off a loss to Vicente Luque where he gets dropped pretty bad. I think it was a front headlock position. I don't remember what kind of choke it was. I can look. I think it was like an anaconda or a darce. I think it was a darce. It was an anaconda. So he gets dropped early, gets choked out. I think the UFC wants to revamp that kind of swing upward for Themba Gorimbo. The best way in doing that is by giving him an old head who's on his way out, coming off losses, who's looked like shit against other old heads. I'm taking Themba Gorimbo. I think he wins probably a dominant 30-27 decision. I think he picks at range very well as he's shown in his other fights. I think he does it again here. There's a chance that Jeremiah Wells is able to use his athleticism and swing in with a big shot. So yeah, moving on from that. After that, we have Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Ante Delija. I'm gonna take Delija, man. I'm gonna take Delija. I have to trust in the fact that Delija been training with Tom Aspinall for a while now. He gets tested big time in his debut, and it wasn't like, oh, he had a good fight and it was a close one and he was able to get a finish. Like, no, he beat the shit out of Marcin Tybura. And Marcin Tybura has been one of those gatekeeper guys where it's like, oh, you want to get into the top 5 of heavyweight? You got to beat my fat ass first. And a lot of people, they don't pass that test. And Ante Delija walked through him. And Waldo, in his last fight against Sergey, it was a sloppy fight. He looked slow. He got tired quick. Delija is in very good shape for a heavyweight. He's got a lot of power. And the fact that he's training with Tom Aspinall, I mean, everything is going to be dialed. everything, especially with the groundwork. Like, Waldo's tried to exploit the groundwork of some of these other heavyweights, and it's worked. If Delicia's grappling day in, day out with these guys from Aspinall's gym, with Aspinall himself, I don't think that's going to be much of an issue. And the power and the speed and the conditioning, everything to me points to Delicia winning this, and I think he's going to get a first or second round TKO here. I hope so, at least. Waldo just seems a little bit too slow, and even if it gets into the later rounds, I don't know if I trust him to just be able to ride it out to the final bell, because he gets so sloppy as the fight goes, and we saw it against Sergey. Once we got to the third round, it was like, what the fuck? I was sitting there watching it, and I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? Just two obese dudes, like, at a cookout that got mad over who ate the last bratwurst. It's like, dude, are we being this is the pinnacle of heavyweight MMA, you know? So if it does get to the third round, there could be a finish waiting there for Ante Delicia too. I think he's really, really sharp. His feet are super fast too. Way faster than 95% of heavyweights. I'll take Ante Delicia. I think he gets a TKO at some point in this one. Main event time. I'm not going to spend too much time on this one either, because it shouldn't be a main event in the first place. It is a banger. I will say that. It is a great fight. If this was like an opener for a main card of a pay-per-view, I would be completely happy. Steve Garcia taking on David Onama. I'm going to go with Steve Garcia. He's really powerful. You saw in his last fight against Calvin Kattar, he was able to drop him. He's got heavy hands. And then the time before that, it's Kyle Nelson, who we saw in his last fight against Matt Frevola, did very well. Should have had a finish, by the way, Dan Murgliata, you fucking dince. He's been on a huge run. I mean, he's been tearing through people. And the Calvin Kattar performance just furthers that for me. Calvin Kattar had little to no success in that fight, and that's a big deal to me, because Calvin Kattar's been up in the rankings at featherweight and was once up at the top of featherweight for a long time, and Steve Garcia did whatever he wanted for 15 straight minutes. Whereas you look on the other side, in David Onama, there's a lot of questions. The Giga Chikadze fight, there's a few iffy moments there, and Giga, I don't think he's not very good anymore. When he first got to the UFC, it was terrifying to look at, because he's liver kicking people and sending him to the ICU, and you're like, holy shit, don't get kicked by this guy, don't sign a fight to fight this guy. But now we're in 2025, and Giga has been figured out for a while now, and you beat him, but how convincingly? And same thing with Roberto Romero. Roberto Romero's winning a lot of moments over you. He's able to win some grappling exchanges. He's landing hard shots on the feet. There's a little bit of back and forth. Again, you win, but how decisively? Steve Garcia puts people out, and he wins dominantly. If David Onama wants a shot at winning this, I think he needs to get into the grappling. But even then, Steve Garcia is a very good defensive grappler. He's quick enough, feet are fast enough to where he can drop his hips to the mat. He can split his stance up against the fence, can dig underhooks. He's very technically sound in that sense. So I don't think he's going to have to worry too much in terms of the ground game, because I don't think it'll go there. So I think Steve Garcia wins this one. I think he wins it by, I'll go third round TKO. I'll go third round TKO here. Yeah, solid fight. I mean, this is a great fight, but it should not be a main event. Anyways, that's all I got for you. Jesus, I've been recording almost for an hour now. I appreciate you guys. Like and subscribe per usual. Go check out my video I dropped yesterday. That will pop up on the screen right now. But yeah, like and subscribe per usual, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.